Welcome to 𝐄𝐓𝐇𝐄𝐂, we talk about investing, finance, and professional development. As the current time of 9:10 a.m. on the Eastern Time on June 15th on Wednesday, the overall crypto market and the equity market, we are relatively down, I would say, normalized a little bit across the board for Bitcoin and Ethereum, both down, I would say across the board 4.5% so far, while at the same time the altcoins after house is, down quite comparably as well. And on the equity side, we are down as well, but just levitating around up or down about 0.5% on a pre-market perspective. And obviously, with respect to today's catalyst, that's been durating since yesterday, all the way until, obviously today, as we get the confirmatory signal from Jerome Powell on the FOMC meeting. It's going to be debuting around 2:15 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. Depending on, if they're delayed, which I, recall that several times in the past, they have delayed by like 15 minutes. So around that time period, we'll be getting a confirmatory signal on what's the plan going forward. Are we going to be raising the rates to 75 basis point? Or are we going to go all the way to 1% or 100 basis point? And with respect to this morning across the market, we can see that Joe Biden is being relatively vocal again, issuing a letter to the oil companies, ExxonMobil, specifically, saying that the refinery profit margin is not acceptable, is well above normal. So there's obviously some debates and some some conflict between the administration versus a lot of the oil giants, and that indicates and drives some correlations to the oil price, which kind of still levitating around $120, but it kind of dipped down a little bit, down about 0.5%. At the same time, with respect to the 10-year yields, that we're still astronomically high at around 3.4% at the moment across the spectrum. So with respect to like what we're seeing right now, we see some selective stocks is up or down, so it's mainly just driven by their own micro affectation. But across the board on the macro front, we're still in a downtrend, and we still need to hear the confirmatory signal from Jerome Powell. And I think if we are gonna receive some sort of a surprise element later today, that's gonna drive some more volatility coming. And I think, with respect to the 75 basis point as an outcome of today's meeting, regardless of how diplomatic Jerome is going to be, I think it's the right next tactical step. Some people even suggest that, maybe we should just like rip off the bandage as soon as possible, like raising all the way to 1% or 100 basis point, which I, don't disagree. But ultimately, the feds have to tread the water, lightly, because if they raise the rates too fast, too quick, and corporate companies are not able to, match up on their operational, and obviously financial threshold, right? That could bankrupt a lot of companies, and that would also drive, an additional seismic negative catalyst onto the market. We have already seen across a lot of corporate companies like Tesla shave 10% of their workforce, Coinbase 20% of their workforce, hiring freeze across all companies, right? So we're already in a funky situation. So to do that even more aggressively, rather than taking a more of an incremental approach, can be quite detrimental. That many companies might not actually live through or survive if they were to be a little bit more aggressive, right? So that's something you also want to think about. So we'll hear about what happens today. I'll obviously keep, my eye on it, and report back later. So let's just dive into technical to see how this morning is looking like. So with respect to recording time of 9:15 a.m. on the Eastern Time, we are at the 1,150 basically, right? The next level down will be 1,000, which we got to yesterday, or last night, if you may. And obviously, if we are going to hear more negative news coming, right, you could see that with respect to the inertia is already down on both sides, 19 out of 70 on the RSI scale. MACD is very negative as well. so if we break 1,000, which is a monumental level, a lot of people are holding their breath, like hoping that we do not break the 4-digit mark. But if we break the 4-digit mark, you gotta linger around like the 950 as the first level, 850, which are flat numbers. But the real level that you will substantively get down to will be 750. So definitely be prepared. Let's just put it this way. And respect to Bitcoin, you can see that clearly we got down to all the way to the 20,000 earlier last night. If we break 20,000, 18,500 is where we're coming next. For Classic, that about 4% so far. Well, close to 4.5% at this point. All the flat numbers, right? $14 is where we at right now. $13, $12 all the way down would be where we'd be going respectively. It's all the flat numbers that all the altcoins are trading at, right? So Dogecoin, just to go over this, like with the 5 cents at the moment. So going down will be 4.5, 4 cents respectively. Cardano down about 1% so far. As you break the current level, which is 45, right? 45 cents, you'll be heading to all the flat numbers again, like 40 cents, 35 respectively. Solana is at $29 at the moment, right? So we are in between levels again, right? So ideally, coming down to a more of a comfortable level would be somewhere around 25. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we break 25 actually, all the way down to like 20 and possibly even 15 if we get more negativity coming. XRP down about 1% so far at 31 cents at the moment. So I would say anywhere from current level, down to, 30 cents, 25 cents, 20 cents respectively. Polkadot down about 3% so far, 722 at the moment. So right now, I would say we're in between levels again, right? So 750, 7 cents, 650 respectively, all the way down. We're forming new lows, so it's all just like the flat numbers right now. There's no substantive support. Algorand's at 30 cents, right? So going down to like next level 25, 20 respectively. Shiba Inu is at 800 flat at the moment. So as we break that, we'll go down to obviously 750, which we saw about like 24 hours ago, all the way down to 700, 650 respectively. MATIC down about 6% so far. All the flat numbers, right? Like with the 40 cents at the moment, so 35, 30 respectively. Lastly, for AVAX, down about 4% so far. So all the flat numbers, right? For 16, 15, 14 respectively. Okay, so with respect to overall market momentum, it seems, quite, we're still bearish, right? But we highly oversold, which is something we know. It's good that we have crossed down on the death cross front for quite some time now. So unless we hear additional surprise element today, if we don't, right, and we're gonna walk into it as expected and everything checks out based on Wall Street expectation, because remember, a lot of people have already priced in the negativity so far, knowing the fact that we're walking in with the expectations of what's going to be happening. So if we're going to hear some sort of alignment, we should technically rebound from here. But if we don't, and we hear additional surprise or more aggression coming, we're going to be in for more pain coming. So appreciate you. Have a good rest of the Wednesday. I'll check you out on the next one as we hear from the FOMC meeting later today. Appreciate you.